Turn off your cell phones. And for the 15th time, please remember there's no video in this room other than what you can get off the FTP site. And our same procedure with a statement from Coach Gilmore, and then we'll have questions directed at the student athletes, and then we'll have Coach Gilmore. Okay, we're delayed a little bit, so talk amongst yourselves. Actually, we did breakfast at Leo's, and that was enough. Yeah, I like that place. The Fantasy Island is. You ever been there? It's in Benson. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's a bed of hash browns with biscuits on them, and then crumbled up ham, bacon, and sausage on that, then gravy, and then 2 eggs on top of that. It's a religious experience. I think we're going farmhouse tomorrow. And probably Boys Town on the way out of town. If I can get up that early, either Wednesday or Thursday. If we have a third game, I'm thinking of Louis M's Burger Lust. I'm missing out on Lisa's radio this year. Just didn't have time. You can't go every place. Yeah. couldn't find the ginger boy tonight. They couldn't find him tonight. Yeah, I don't think he was at the game tonight. I talked to Anthony. He said, we've been looking. We know who he is. We know what school he went to. 'Cause funniest part, they put a split screen up. I don't know if they did it on the air, but between innings, they put a split screen up with the kid and John Samoji. You know, two little round-faced gingers. Okay, I promise now the Coastal players are on their way. Okay. Got a coach. Got a coach with the irons hot. Coming from this way. It's a longer walk from the first base. It's a longer walk from the first base area. They told me, you know, had the magic in my ear.
Baseball game. Baseball? Kid pitched great. Tip your hat to him.
More chances.
Yes, sir.
Once again, Gary, give us an overview from your dugout.
I mean, I think, yeah, you know, I mean, for me, I obviously see it from an angle or whatever and listen to our hitters, but Clooney was, I mean, he was very good. I mean, he was moving the ball both sides of the plate, throwing cuts, breaking balls, you name it, and locating, you know, first six innings. I don't think we hit a ball square the whole entire first six innings, and then you know, we did a little bit better in seventh, eighth, and ninth, and you know, just matter. You know, the game of baseball is in a lot of ways a matter of inches here and there. You know, that ball Paez hit, that you know, that ball's 6 inches further, it's out of the ballpark, and you know, just you know, then you know, all heck breaks loose, and who knows what happens, and you know, again, at the end of the day, I have to tip my hat to that young man. I mean, he just pitched. You know, he was the guy that was bigger than life today. He beat us pretty much by himself, and they played great defense behind him. So tip my hat to him, and you know, we'll have to come back tomorrow and see if we can figure a way out to even this thing.
Okay, identify yourselves. We'll get a mic to you, and let us know who the question's to for student athletes. Kendall, to start.
Baseball. This is for Zach. I guess, Zach, how did you kind of feel out there, and how did you also kind of feel about your stuff in general?
I thought I threw pretty well. I missed a few spots, and they took advantage, no doubt. It's tough when you lead off the game with a ground rule double like that, but basically I just bounced back, and I tried to do the best I could, give it all for my teammates.
Okay, let's go back to Ryan first.
Ryan Young, Myrtle Beach Sun News. Michael, you guys have been in this spot before, facing elimination, and you fought back from it. What are your thoughts going into tomorrow's game?
I mean, we just got to stick to the process. We got out of it a little bit because I felt like we had to chase some runs. And like I said, if we carry over that 7th, 8th, and 9th, like Coach said, we hit the ball pretty well. Carry it over to tomorrow and pitch well like we did today and play great defense. And we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Jeff Sheldon with the Omaha World Herald. Zach, when your coach came out to talk to you during a little bit of that trouble in the first inning, what was the conversation?
He was just staying positive. He had like no doubt in me, so he just knew I was going to get out of it, and I was fortunate enough to get 2 strikeouts. You know, and I mean I trust him pitch calling. I put all my faith into him. He calls a great game. You know, sometimes it goes unnoticed, but I trust him fully, and he helped me out there and made the right pitch calls.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Mike?
Mike Lanana, Baseball America. Michael, why was J.C. Cloney just so difficult to square up tonight? What was he doing to be so effective out there?
I mean, he was adding, subtracting, throwing 3 pitches for strikes. You know, you want to sit on a fastball, and then he throws you a cutter, and you sit on off speed, and he throws a fastball, and it's just he just threw a great game. Like Coach said, I mean, it's hard to hit when you have a guy that's going to add and subtract, throw 3 pitches for strikes, and keep you off balance all game. And he really didn't dial down until like the 7th, 8th, and 9th, and still was throwing pretty much the same how he was throwing the first inning. And it's just, like, again, hats off to him. He threw a great game, and like I said, adding, subtracting is going to win you some games.
Okay, right here.
Mike Patterson, Omaha World Herald. Michael, did you think that ball was gone when you hit it? And what was the mood in the dugout in that 9th inning as you were trying to come back?
I thought I got enough of it, but knowing this field, you can't predict what's going to happen. And the mood was, I mean, like I said, we're never out of the fight. We stuck to the process. We believed. I mean, Marks led off the game or the inning with a hit and great bump by Zach. And we were all in it. We had no doubt in our minds we were going to come back. And unfortunately, CO hit a one-hop shot to second baseman. He can't do nothing about it. Great 2-out hitting. And, I mean, we never thought in our heads that we weren't going to win this game.
Okay, Ryan?
Zach, you really minimized damage there in those 2 jams you got in. How did you stay calm in those moments pitching in the biggest game of your life?
Well, I knew my defense. Pies was talking to me throughout the game, keeping me calm. No doubt, just stayed within my breaths. And, I mean, I got a good defense, so they're going to play behind me. And I know I got a couple of strikeouts in those jams. That really helped. I mean, everybody knows I'm not a strikeout pitcher, but it just so happened to be today I got a few key ones at the right time. So.
Okay, we'll have time for one more question for the student athletes, if anybody wants to take it. Ryan?
I'll go back to Zach. Just you hadn't started since the regionals. When did you find out you were starting today, and what was the thrill for you to be on this stage and pitching in this moment?
I found out the other night, right after the game. Coach Thomas came up to me and he said, "It's your turn," and I was thrilled. I was excited. I was just ready to come out here and have fun. You know, you get to play on a stage like this. It's just second to none. It's awesome. It's unbelievable. I just wanted to go out tonight, have fun with my teammates, and I did. I had fun. We may have lost. The kid pitched real well, but I had fun.
Okay, man, thank you. You're excused now. We'll see you tomorrow night. Now, questions for Coach Gilmore, starting off. Lee?
Lee Barfnick from the Omaha World Herald. Gary, in your scouting, what did you make of Raymer, their leadoff hitter at Arizona? What?
I mean, he's a little bit like Anthony Marks. You know, he's that guy that he's a pain in your side. You know, he just ain't a ton of holes. He's going to put the barrel on the ball, and I haven't seen where the pitch was, but I mean, Zach hadn't been out there in a while, and it may have been right down the middle or whatever. Kid hit the ball. You tip your hat to him. I mean, it's that kid. He's one of the kids on their team that, as the opposing coach, you go, man, I'd like to have that kid. He's a good-looking player.
Ryan?
Does the path you took to get here and the big wins you had to have fighting off elimination, does that make this team more prepared for a game like tomorrow night?
I mean, we know where we're at. If we lose, it's over, obviously, So, but I mean, at this point, I just want to play really aggressively and really hard and compete and play with a lot of confidence. And I think Clooney. I honestly think he just kind of took a little bit of that away from us tonight. He just pitched so well. I mean, it's 3 up, 3 down, 3 up, 3 down. And then as much as Zach did a great job for us, for about 4 innings, we were out there for a while on defense, and the rhythm of the game and things like that, kind of eluded us. Once we started getting them out 3 up and 3 down, we those last 3 innings, we took a little bit better swings at them, and the rhythm of the game came to us a little bit more. So we just have to come back tomorrow. I mean, it's if they have another guy that throws every pitch where he wants to, it's going to be tough to score again. I mean, I'm hoping our guys can answer on the pitcher's mound, and hopefully we'll get a few more balls to put swings on.
Okay. Go to Mike here.
Coach, as tough of an offensive night as it was, you still got the tying run to the plate and the guy you probably wanted to the plate in Owings. So talk about just having that chance in the 9th inning to maybe still pull this game out.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we had him and GK right behind him. I was just hoping, that somehow a miracle could happen, and he got down in the count in a hurry and ended up hooking that breaking ball, and again, like hits that ball a quarter-inch lower or whatever, that ball's over. That ball's a hit or possibly a ball over the guy's head and right. So, it's it just is what it is. But we were in position. The kids never quit. I think they were more frustrated than anything, just trying to figure out how to solve this guy and get some runners on base. He wasn't walking anyone, and it's there early, and we just didn't get anybody on. So it was very frustrating for us. So I'm glad the kids didn't quit, and we had a shot there at the end.
Okay, Ron McGee back here in the back. Yep.
Ryan McGee, ESPN. Coach, you mentioned the rhythm of the game. That one tough stretch there after the pitching change is kind of when it felt like the rhythm went away. Is that how you felt as well?
Well, yeah. I mean, Cole hadn't been out there in a while either, and if you go back and look, if we, and again, I've got a second baseman who's not played there in 4 years, and those two guys haven't played together. To me, they made a huge mistake tagging at first, running to second on that play. If Mikey doesn't cut that ball, we tag that guy out and the run doesn't score. And that was a frustrating moment for us. And then we turn around immediately and give up a hit to the guy that had tagged and gone to second. So, it could have been a potentially lot different, if we had just made one simple little play right there. And it gets real loud. It gets real loud out there when someone hits the ball and a play goes on. It's difficult for them to communicate, and we were just a split second late in that decision making process, and it caught us.
One last question, Ryan.
Facing elimination, do you bring Beckwith back tomorrow?
Absolutely not. No shot.
Where do you go?
They kind of didn't tell us today until game time, so they'll get the same thing from me tomorrow.
Okay, Gary. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, for those of you just coming in, please turn off your cell phones. Same procedures. Jay, give us an overview, please.
Yeah, very proud of our team tonight, dealing with the circumstance, 20,000 people, championship series, all that type of thing. I thought we came out in good character, close version to ourselves, which was awesome. And then, the story of the night is these three guys, starting with JC. It's a special performance. It's an unbelievable offensive team that did not get very many good swings off on him tonight, and very impressive. I mean, it's about as good as it gets. Cody and Ryan, when you do good things and have good teams, it's usually your guys are guys, and they've been doing it for us all year, and was no different tonight. So a bunch of great at-bats out of the top of our order. It's ready to go tomorrow.
Okay, questions for the student athletes. Beginning, please raise your hand, and Jill and Suzanne will get a mic to you. We'll start with John.
John Nieto with the Omaha World Herald. JC, I think one of their players mentioned that they just, especially early, couldn't get a great read on you. You were throwing fastballs when they expected breaking balls and opposite. What was your approach? I mean, did you feel you had them off balance, and how were you able to get to that point?
Kind of, yeah, I think so. Coach Lon and all these coaches always have a good plan of what they want to do, and our job is just to go out and execute it. So, they've watched a ton of film to see what these guys do, and I think it was just establishing the fastball in the inner half and the outer half, and then mixing some change-ups in here and there, and throwing some other off-speed stuff. But I think you got to give the credit to Coach Lon and Skip over here for having the game plan of what they want to do.
Okay, next question. Jump right in. Okay. Go to Jeff here.
Jeff Sheldon with the Omaha World Herald. This for Cody. You guys put on the shift a couple times tonight, and you had one play where you had to charge in from halfway out into right field. At what point do you think that you're going to make that play 3 steps into it, or how do you approach that when a guy hits a ball to where you'd normally be?
Yeah, I mean, we have a card that has specific things that we look at as infielders, and one of it, we knew he was a slow runner, so, I mean, I knew how to grab it and get rid of it, so I kind of knew that the runner at the plate wasn't too quick.
John, again.
Yes, JC, you tired? What is the energy, or how much adrenaline or effort and energy did it take out of you to throw 122 pitches, complete game shutout?
Not really tired right now. The adrenaline's still going there, still kind of trying to figure out what just happened. Tomorrow morning, I'm sure I'll be a little sore, a little tired, but, we'll figure that out tomorrow.
Aaron.
Aaron Fit with UN Baseball. JC, what's the key for you to get all those ground ball outs? I think you had 13 of them today. Is that typical for you?
I really don't know what, the splits are for me, but I think it's just throwing the changeup, keeping it down, keeping the fastball down. You'll hear the infielders and Coach Lon always say hit the string. It's just knee height, working down. I think the changeup was a real reason why there were so many ground balls, and it felt real good tonight, so we used it a lot.
Okay, Mike.
Mike Lanana, Baseball America. JC, just what's going through your mind when Paez hits that ball to the warning track and you see Zach come up with the catch? I mean, did you feel like that was out when he hit it?
Not gonna lie, I thought it was a short pop-up. I thought Raymer was about to go out and make the catch, and then I saw Zach run into the wall. I knew the park played bigger than it looks, but when I saw him get to the wall and look for the wall and he was on the track, kind of had to hold my breath for a second. But when he jumped up and caught it, felt good, and I knew it was, just let them go hit now.
Okay, next question. We'll go back to Mike.
Ryan, it seems like every time you come up in the first inning, either Cody or
or Zach is on base. What is it like for you hitting in the middle of the order, having all these RBI opportunities, and just what do you make of the job they do at the top of the lineup?
Oh, it's awesome having Cody and Gibbons up right before me. You know, right before every game, you're gonna have an opportunity to score runs, and I just have to thank Coach for putting me in that order and trusting me a lot, so I can get that opportunity. And today, I pulled through for him.
Okay, Lee.
Lee Barfnick, Omaha World Herald for Cody. Going to second base on the sac fly. How hard was your heart pounding, and did you have permission to do that?
Wasn't the most ideal thing, but I saw a little opportunity when both infielders vacated the bag, and I figured if I got to the outside, slid in, I'd be safe, which would get me into scoring position with 2 outs. And Ryan was able to drive me in, but I got to be a little smarter, especially with our catcher on third base.
Okay, we have time for one more question for the players. Michael.
Hi, Michael Lev with the Arizona Daily Star. Sorry I got here late. I don't know what's been asked of JC, but I was talking to Cesar in there, and he said that he could tell in the bullpen that you were on your game tonight. Did you sort of feel that from the outside?
Not really. Growing up, whenever you have a good bullpen session, kind of leads to a bad outing in a game. So, I mean, I don't really take what happens in the bullpen to the game with me. Bullpen's really for just harping on mechanics, getting it all right. And then once you get in the game, you really got to go execute pitches. So, if bullpen looked good, outing looked good, then I'll be fine with it. But, I felt good all together tonight, so I'm happy.
Okay, man, halfway there. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow night. Now we'll start with questions for Coach Johnson. Jump right in. Start with Michael again.
So Zach Gibbons said that your message for them regarding tomorrow was to not think about the fact that they need one more win to win the College World Series, but to just think about the first pitch. Is that kind of just the guys being on message and listening to what you're saying and just following that process that you have been the whole year?
Yeah, we got to call it like it is. They all know where we're at and what we're doing, but we've been playing games like that for the better part of this year. And, more than anything else for us, it's always about the play. It's always about what's in front of us, and what's in front of us is tomorrow, and we need to prepare well tonight, coaching staff and players alike, and get ready to attack the opportunity. And so if they're regurgitating that makes me very happy.
First time I've heard regurgitating in his press conferences.
Coming out of my shell. So.
Okay, next question. Well, they're working you hard. Go back to Lou.
Lou Pavlovich, Collegiate Baseball. Can you go over your defense? You've only had one error in 6 games, I believe, and you had a key play at the wall and then a double play at the end there, and it's been very crucial, I think.
No question about it. A couple things in play with that. Number one, we set our defense for our pitchers making pitches, and our pitchers are making pitches that are helping us get them to hit the ball where we want them to. Secondly is our coaching staff, Coach Wanaka in the outfield and Coach Brown in the infield do an excellent job of reports and setting this thing up so we give ourselves a chance to hopefully be where they're going to hit it. And we've been very fortunate to this point in the tournament that that's happened a lot. And the other thing is, in terms of the infield defense, our guys are playing really aggressively, playing with a lot of confidence. They're getting the right hop all the time, and this is the most beautiful ballpark in America, and the grounds crew does a great job, and that matters. That helps a lot. So I think it's a combination of things, and you're right, Lou, that's a big part of what's happening right now.
Michael?
Jay, what is JC's number one asset as a pitcher? And second, how strongly were you considering taking him out there in the 8th or 9th when they were starting to hit him a little bit?
Well, there's two things I think that come to mind when you talk about what makes him him. Number one is his mental disposition, his ability to block out everything else that's going around him and just focus on getting a good visual of the target and attack in the mitt. And he can do that with 3 or 4 pitches, and that shows up. Secondly, he's an impressive-looking guy. I mean, his lower half looks like he should be playing defensive tackle for Coach Rodriguez, and that matters, and it allows him to hold his stuff in the throughout the game, and he doesn't drop off very much. And probably the last thing is I think he wanted to kill me on Wednesday when I took him out against Santa Barbara when he hadn't given up any runs. And so I went up to talk to him in the 8th, and I was just going to, give him some reinforcement on something, and he's like, get away from me. So.
Okay, Mitch.
Mitch Sherman, ESPN.com. Jade, I'm sure you're happy not to have had to use your bullpen for 2 days, but what's your situation going forward on the mound, and where are you at with Bannister?
Situation is we're going to watch this game tonight and evaluate, some things that we did well and some things that we can expose. I do not know who we're going to start tomorrow. And, I do feel good about the fact that we haven't used anybody but JC over the last 2 days. Our guys have been working out hard the entire time we've been in Omaha, and I think that's why you're seeing some of them recover well. Nathan was better today than he was Sunday and better than Saturday. Played catch today, which was a good sign, and we'll evaluate him again tomorrow.
Okay, we have time for one more question in this session. Michael.
I'm going to have to ask a 2-part question then. The first thing is you gathered the team after the 4th inning in the dugout. What was your message? And second, did you consider asking the umpires to talk about that play, the bunt play in the 9th inning?
Well, on that one, I'll answer the second one first. You can't, if it's a timing out safe call, you're not allowed to ask or get it reviewed. It wasn't like the one the other day where maybe somebody had a better look at it than the first base umpire. As far as the 4th inning, that's just something we do frequently. I mean, 9 innings is a long time. There's no clock in baseball. You're facing a team with good pitchers, and he was giving us some problems. And so it was just some adjustments in terms of what we wanted to do from an approach standpoint, and then also getting them settled down. And I mean, the reality of it is this is a cool deal, and these guys are working their tails off, and just kind of get them settled down a little bit. And I thought they did a nice job of that. And the reality is that team makes it hard on you throughout the game, both offensively and defensively for 9 innings. I mean, they've won 53 games for a reason, and they're well coached. They have a bunch of good players, and you just kind of have to stay on it each inning.
Okay, you will be the home team tomorrow night, 7 o'clock.